Hello everyone and welcome to Lost in the Reel. Today I will be going over the new Hulu limited series The Dropout, which follows the rise and fall of Theranos CEO Elizabeth Holmes. This is one of the many biographical miniseries, not just about criminals, but tech startups that are premiering this year. Does this one make its mark, and is it worth tuning into every week? Let's talk about it. The Dropout is created by Elizabeth Merriweather and directed by Michael Showalter. It stars Amanda Seyfried, Naveen Andrews, Laurie Metcalf, Sam Waterston, Stephen Fry, Dylan Minnette, Michael Ironside, Kurtwood Smith, and William H. Macy. In a tale of ambition and fame gone terribly wrong, Elizabeth Holmes develops healthcare technology that puts millions of patients at risk and loses everything in the blink of an eye. Let's get one thing clear here. Elizabeth Holmes is a sociopath, a narcissist, and a downright deplorable human being. She is a woman who was so wrapped up in visions of grandeur and so obsessed with fame and fortune that she put thousands of people's lives at risk. And if she was never caught, I'm sure that number would be in the tens of millions. And she did all of this just to get to the top. Her blood sampling device that experts called revolutionary never actually worked in the first place. And luckily, through the courage of a few whistleblowers who put everything on the line to divulge the truth, Elizabeth Holmes' true colors were shown to the world. And hopefully, in September of this year, she will be locked away for her crimes. So, my biggest worry going into Hulu's The Dropout was that they were going to try and make the audience sympathize with Elizabeth Holmes by humanizing her. This was just done in Netflix's Inventing Anna, which took a crook who defrauded banks, hotels, and even her friends for thousands and attempted to make her a character you could connect to. I think that was a grave miscalculation on the showrunners of that limited series, who basically rewarded a criminal for her bad behavior. And my worries materialized in The Dropout's very first episode, as we get a lengthy backstory of Holmes' younger life and college years. And I kept thinking to myself in the first half of this show, are they really doing this? Are they really attempting to force the audience to commiserate with Elizabeth Holmes? And I wasn't happy. Luckily, there's a scene in the third episode of The Dropout where all of this changes. I won't give anything away, but it takes place in an Apple store, and it's a true testimony to this character's sociopathic tendencies. Once I realized as a viewer that the writers were actually dedicated to portray Holmes as she really is and not a glorified version of her, that they were just giving us her backstory to show us how and why she became the bloodthirsty CEO that she ended up becoming, I finally got on board with this series. Because of this though, I believe one of The Dropout's biggest flaws is that it's just not all that interesting in the first few episodes. It's not until we start following the journalists who are working on an investigative piece on Holmes and the people who are trying to take her down from the inside, aka the heroes of the story, that this show really takes flight. It will take the patience of many viewers who are willing to tune in week after week to reap the rewards. What are these rewards, you ask? Well, The Dropout has an incredible ensemble cast that really bring this story to life. With Laurie Metcalf, Eben Moss-Bachrach, Lisa Gay Hamilton, Kevin Sussman, Cameron Mi-Young Kim, Dylan Minnette, and William H. Macy, all being players in taking this woman down and chewing the scenery while doing it. But the show basically rides or dies on the strength of Amanda Seyfried's performance as Elizabeth Holmes. It makes it even more difficult for the actress because Holmes is notorious for her fake deep voice that she used to impress the men in power around her. And not only does the show do a great job of detailing the origins of this voice, but Seyfried absolutely nails it. I have never been the biggest fan of hers, but she blew me away here. Rather than using a ton of prosthetics and makeup to transform her, Amanda Seyfried uses her own strengths as a performer to bring Holmes to life. I honestly completely forgot that it was the Mean Girls star up on the screen as the series went on, which is a testament to her incredible work here. I do think The Dropout is a little messy at times, especially with its editing. The show tries to cover so much time and follow so many different characters that it can feel like it's all over the place and unfocused. I also think the music choice of radio hits from the years being depicted is way too on the nose and distracting. But despite these flaws, I think The Dropout is certainly worth a watch, and not just for Seyfried's awards-worthy portrayal. Once the show gets going, it is absolutely riveting television, and I believe there is enough in-depth information here that even if you are familiar with the story, you will be surprised and intrigued. So if you have a little bit of patience to get through the first few episodes, I think The Dropout is definitely worth your time. So I will be giving The Dropout 3.5 green juices out of 5. With a tour de force transformative performance from Amanda Seyfried leading the charge, this limited series is able to overcome its blatant flaws to be a gripping true crime saga for the techie era. Thank you so much for watching Lost in the Reel. What are your thoughts on Hulu's The Dropout? Did the showrunners do enough to portray Elizabeth Holmes in an honest light, or could they have done more? Do you think this series is worth 8 hours of your life? Sound off in the comment section down below. And until next time, my friends, take care.